So do you think like the recent development in phone photography has overtaken DSLRs? Not overtaken, or they are at par or at the same threshold level? Like the phone photography scene, it's pretty...
See, phone photography, no doubt. I mean, I am myself taking phone photographs so much, but it depends on what level you're functioning on, right? So, for me, it will never replace a DSLR because what I'm doing with it depends on what you're doing with that photograph, right? You're posting it to Instagram, the phone is better than a DSLR, I'd say. I would definitely say that, and I might get some hate for it. But I'd say this for sure, phone is a better camera than a DSLR because a DSLR does not capture. I don't want to get into the technical part of it. It just exposes the photograph well. There's a better the color range is better in a phone.
Yeah.
But if you want to take that photo, like for example, some of my photographs, I would want to print them out, maybe put it up in an exhibition someday, right? I can't do that with a phone photograph, right? The resolution is not there. The quality is not there, right? So it depends on what your usage of that photograph is. If you're just like a casual person going about his life, trying to get into photography as a hobby, sure, go for it. Phone's the best thing you can have. But if you're someone like me whose profession depends on it, relies on it, you can't replace a camera.
No, because earlier I'll quote a personal experience. So back in 2008-9, we were packing up for like first ever trip via an airplane. It was to Hong Kong, so I was little. So we never had a camera before. We had a VHS tape recorder, but we never had a camera before. So a big debate came out in my family. We need a camera.
Yeah.
We need a Sony cyber shot at whatever cost. We need a cyber shot.
Yeah.
So there were a lot of types, right? There was point and shoot camera, a small Sony cyber shot. It came into the pocket. Then there were cameras that were DSLRs with big lenses on, right? So at that very point, that was a time where, back in 2008, phones did have camera, but I guess not even a single phone had a front camera back in 2008. I believe in 2005, they didn't have front cameras. So that was a point where we separately bought a camera despite our, profession. Like we never had a profession, but for like for a family purpose, a personal use, we got a camera. But nowadays it has shifted a lot, right?
Yeah.
Like people won't think like if I'm going, abroad for the first time, or if I'm, traveling a lot, I should really get myself a Pro kit or even a Sony cyber shot. I think they have discontinued now. Cyber shoot cameras.
I'm not sure.
Sony has Alpha now, right?
Yeah, they only have Alpha now. They have discontinued cyber shot.
Yeah.
So I mean, that was a time where you separately required a camera, but today the time is like we all have phones and we all are over relied on this piece of tech. Like we are, but I was just saying that external buying factor has totally disappeared.
Yeah.
Do you think this is good for the industry or bad?
Exactly. That I was. Thank you for rephrasing. It was quick. It was quick.
Good or bad? I think it's good. A lot of reasons. One, first of all, it's handing over that power to photograph to just the public. You know what I mean? Like earlier, photography used to be very inaccessible.
It's democratized now.
It's democratized now, right? So someone sitting in Hyderabad in a small village can click a brilliant photograph, and someone sitting in Delhi with a fucking Fujifilm can also click a brilliant photograph. So first of all, I think that's great because I think that's just opening up doors to people who would not have access to photography, like rich kids would. Like we never had like a fancy DSLR as growing up.
We always thought that was a fancy stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Just the basic camera used to be the fancy ones, right? So even at that time, people used to have DSLRs, right? Yeah. So it democratized photography first. And second, the camera industry, the DSLR industry has gotten much more refined because the people approaching cameras now know that they want a camera. It's no longer a casual, walk-in buy. Right, so they appreciate the technology more. There's more innovation happening in that space because now the camera industry is catering to a very specific audience, an audience who's not just enthusiastic about photography but takes it seriously. So
I think it's like Twitter and blogs, right? Twitter gave everyone like a right to write anything, but then everyone is writing, but the blogs have their own space.
Right.
Are you trying to plug yourself here?
Even I thought so. Yeah, we all know you used to write blogs, right? No, I get it.
I wasn't going there. But like, so I think there's a quality aspect and then there's a scale aspect.
Yeah.
So when there's like huge scale, like right now, I mean Instagram, everyone's a photographer.
Yeah.
Instagram. So do you think the quality has gone down? Or you can still get quality if you want to get quality?
I mean, it's a constant battle between quantity and quality on Instagram, now, isn't it? Either you can adhere to the algorithm and get more followers, or you can push for quality. So I think that debate just remains, even in real life, on Instagram.
Yeah.
I mean,
The quality hasn't gone down. Yes, it's gone down. Have you seen some of the TikToks and reels that people post? Sure, of course the quality.
I see
has
you're
gone
a
down.
purist.
I am. I am. I don't even know how TikToks work. This is the first time I posted a reel ever, and I just converted a story into a reel, and I was like, oh, I posted.
I mean, the best travel videos or posts are like, they work on the real music, right? I'll be fucked up if you can be like.
I don't even know how that works. I don't even know how you.
Yeah, then dancing and then in the hills and something.
Exactly. So the idea of virality has just gone beyond me. I'm a purist, yes, for sure. I don't really.
So
I will not comment on anything.
Instagram is bad for society, is what she's saying.
That's
Instagram, maybe not. TikTok, yes. Reels, again.
So I mean, it's made of. So first of all, they made photographers out of all of us. Now they're making filmmakers out of all of us.
I would not go that far as to call TikTok as filmmakers.
I mean, this defines the point, right?
I mean, 30-second storytelling, right? That's like micro stories. But then everybody's not telling a story, is what you're saying.
I'm saying 99% people are not telling the story.
I mean, he said this as a pro that, with availability of phone cameras, it is a democratized thing now.
But then
So this is what you get with democratized.
But then what you choose to do with it is on you, right? There's good and bad to everything now, isn't it?
Right. So I mean, when we democratize, when there is this technology available to the masses, now people will go haywire with it. Just like with cameras. So I have like one of my aunts. So she makes like 3 to 4 reels a day.
A day?
A day. She posts all of them. She's like, she has like 11k followers, all unknown people she doesn't know.
Of course she doesn't know 11,000 people.
Yeah, 11k followers, but all she does is she lip syncs a lot of songs, old songs, and she does it with a dog.
Of course, now we get it.
Yeah.
Understood.
Understood. I mean, and then there is this photographer I know posting quality content. Like he comes out with a post like one post in 2 weeks time, like 14 days. So the post is also marvelous. But again, the audience which the aunt is catering should be here.
No,
right?
not really.
And that guy has like 300, 400
followers. This is also
followers.
existing, and again I'm going to quote Chris Burkhardt again on this because I think his take on this is very interesting. He's like, since we're talking about photography specifically, I think in general in that influencing that word is like, I will throw up in my own mouth. But if we just consider photography as a space, Chris Burkhardt, so he has like 1 point something million followers, right? He's an ad geo photographer. But I have not seen one shit post on his profile ever. Okay? Not just because he obviously has brilliant photographs, but I've also not seen any ad post, something with a brand of some sort. He says he's a photographer by profession, not an Instagrammer, right? So he doesn't use Instagram as a portfolio. He's like, my professional work is different. Instagram is simply a tool for me to connect with my audience, right? So people have started to see spaces like YouTube, Instagram as a means of generating revenue, as a career of its own, which no serious photographer can say that. If you're a photographer who has 100,000 followers, sure, you have a certain power and you must have had the content sometime to build that audience. There's no way someone can have 100,000 followers and they won't have anything to offer to them, right? You need to have something to offer. So I have respect for them. But then again, if you're just constantly just catering to that and made that your area of focus, then you're not a photographer, you're an Instagrammer. Right, so there's a difference between photography.
So is it a thin line? Is it a thick line?
Yeah,
it's becoming thinner by the day.
Yeah.
Because photographers overall in general are not getting as much exposure to the industry as they should, and Instagram is just offering an easy, easy explore the community, easy build your own community space. But then again, yeah, it's a thin line.
So like if you're a photographer, of course, like can you survive as a photographer without having an Instagram account in 2021?
Maybe not.
You need audience, right?
Maybe not.
You need audience.
Even if you don't have an audience, when you approach a client for professional work, it's good to have all your social media communication channels represent some side of you. Even if it's not a proper photography finesse Instagram account, I think it just shows. Even if I believe if someone is just good at photography or good at filmmaking in general and aesthetic, even if you're not a professional, you record stories a certain way. You need to aaja kar le, dance kar, you know what I mean? Like you keep your phone stable nevertheless. Right? So it shows in anything and everything you post, in every persona, the way you put yourself out there is representative of you. So I think not just photographers but any professional who has their social media public, they should, there's a certain persona
some
that
sort
they
of
represent.
representation should be there.
Representation.